then they're online to run around on Julian Rocks, which is 1.5 kilometres off the coast. So I'm not going to hang around too much. We'll walk up the top where I can open the door and let a bit of fresh air in. If you've got any questions, we'll keep until we get to the top. Thanks.
Sige, dati try natin. Hindi, akit ka na lang. Dahan-dahan na
Now between the two lenses. There we go, guys. All good? Yes. So, last one's up. Put the little silver hook on the cleat. Come around this way, folks. Keep on coming around, my friend.
Keep coming.
You okay, my friend? You okay? Yep. That it? Okay, just put the little silver hook up, please, would you? I was just saying, have a look between those two big lenses, which are made of 500 individual pieces of prismatic glass. And a prism, of course, as many of you would know, simply magnifies. And so these prismatic lenses magnify the light from what is now a $25,000 filament, LED, what did I say? $25,000 LED filament.
$25,000.
It cost $25,000 just the element. So we're told.
Wouldn't kerosene be cheaper?
Well, the original kerosene wicks would have been cheaper. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But if you have a look inside the turret, well, I'll keep on going. When we get down, the lantern assembly itself weighs 4,500 kilograms, 4.5 tons. It's immensely heavy. And you notice how beautifully, smoothly, and almost silently it's rotating. And the reason for that is it's floating in a bath of mercury. So this is known as a mercury bath float system. And there are many lighthouses around the world which are built on the same principle. Built by the Fresnel lens company just outside Paris. They've been making lenses for lighthouses for a couple of hundred years and still are, to my knowledge. And it's interesting because of the fact that it's a mercury float system, and there are many other lighthouses like it. Many of the early lighthouse keepers died. It doesn't matter, you can rotate it there if you'd like to. But many of the lighthouse keepers in early days died of mercury poisoning.
That's my next question.
Because they would have had to carry the drum. Well, in actual fact, I originally thought they used to carry the drums all the way to the top. But there was a little pump installed down at the red sector level, and they carry the drums up there, and then somehow they had a pump of kerosene pumpings transfer, which took the kerosene up to the top, deposited it in a little reservoir, which must have had the wick support in it somehow. And those wicks had to be kept going, of course, during the hours of darkness. The reason why this big lens assembly keeps on rotating 24 hours a day is purely and simply in the same way that you might take a magnifying glass and hold it up to the sun and let the rays shine through onto a piece of paper to burn a hole in it. So in exactly the same way, if you turn the power off here now and the sunlight shone through those that big lens assembly, then the magnification from those prisms could easily start a fire. Not necessarily in the lighthouse, but if the conditions were right, out of the head, something like that. So, pardon me, when the AMSAR technicians have maintenance work to do, they hang those big curtains, those canvas curtains around the windows, then they turn the power off and they can do whatever they want. Maintenance involves, for example, cleaning the lenses, of which 500 each with 3 sides, so that's 1,500 sides to clean by hand. And various other things, obviously painting and whatever, which I'm really not familiar with. But, so you get that enormous weight, then it requires a really immensely strong structure to support it. This turret is made of 10 mil cast iron sections. You can see there's a seam every metre or so, all bolted together, and they support that enormous weight. Even behind if you look through the perspex, which obviously has only been put here since we've been taking tours, you can see there's a round black steel disc that covers the whole where the drive chain used to come up before those electricity went up around. Must have been not the 240 volt motors were there, but there would have been a drive mechanism attached to that frame, and that rotated the shaft, which maintained the rotation of the lens assembly. You were asking about the cost of the LEDs. The early lenses, the early bulbs, which were installed immediately after electricity was hooked up, would have been in the early 80s, late 70s. Well, like those two little bulbs down the bottom. This is just the LED, that really expensive high-tech LED element is just a symptom of technological advancement, I suppose. If you have a look also, you'll see that on the inside of the turret there's a little green box with a black telephone. That's what telephones used to look like when I was on the board, more or less. You know why the telephone's there? So the lighthouse keepers can order their pizza. Which I don't think is strictly true, because there wouldn't have been too many pizza shops here 140 years ago. So no, that would have been simply for communication. The lighthouse keepers needed to communicate with the off-duty guys who lived in the 2 orange roof houses down there. Also they would have been able to connect to the telephone system through the wire and the post office. On the outside of the turret, you can see these 3 black shafts with brass threads on them. They're actually mechanical jacks. So the lighthouse keepers, or the technicians today, are able to, once they put the curtains down, turn the power off, they're able to elevate, to lift the whole lens assembly clear of the turret. And you can see how much rise they get. That's about 600 mils, I think, roughly, something like that. A bit more than that. Obviously they have to do it simultaneously. Around the outside behind you, you can see these beautifully made brass gunmetal ventilators. Then, unfortunately, on a steam unit like today, they're not operational, because when they installed the electricity, they also blocked off the ducting because the salt-laden air was coming in and corroding the wiring, the copper wiring on those electric lines. So that's what these guys here are. That's pretty much it, really. The whole of the lantern room, walls, steel, cast iron, turret, the two big lenses, all came out from the United Kingdom and Europe at the end of the 1890s. Would have come out in sailing ships, was most certainly unloaded down here on the bay and then rowed ashore in must have been pretty big barges or lighthouse or something, I don't know, and then hauled up the hill using horse-drawn or bullock-drawn wagons, I guess. Obviously, you know, it's a huge achievement building one lighthouse. The fact that they did it in under 2 years is just, I find it extraordinary. And there are, as I said, there are more than 400 right around Australia. So that'll do. Let's step outside. Anyone got any questions? Let's step outside where it's a bit cooler anyway. Here, right here. Find the step if you would. And there are a couple of lightning conducting rods here which are marked here. What a beautiful morning on the way. We'll have to get down again. I'm not sure I was starting.
Only for having apartment.
Wow, Naka-purple kasi.
Kasi.
Wow.
All the wild in our town.
Picture mo naman kami.
Migration begins here.